I tried to speak with Senator Clinton at the time. She wouldn't talk to us, and one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up to her is because someone was hearing her voice, ventriloquism.
It's been done to me, and I don't know why. I don't know who's doing it, what the purpose is.
Now watch this, because what he just described might explain something that was caught on camera during a U.S. House hearing. Look at the woman standing behind Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, and pay close attention to what happens when she speaks.
First, I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. They would be representing what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. They would be misrepresenting.
All you have to do is use voice morphing.
This Harvard scientist exposes claims about CIA mind control weapons still being used today. And what you're about to witness might explain far more about the world we're living in than most people realize.
But if you cognitively model someone, you have a brain print, like a fingerprint. And if you use autocorrelation techniques, and there's a way, and we'll just kind of wave our hand, functional MRI that you can do at a distance over the earth, you have every human being's brain pattern. You can control 8 billion brains on the planet, potentially. Read them.
Scientists and military researchers have spent decades studying how the brain responds to energy, sound, and stress, often in ways most people never hear about. The idea of neuroweapons and mind control sits in that shadowed space where advanced science meets secrecy. One of the people raising these questions is Robert Duncan, a Harvard-educated scientist with a background in advanced defense research. What makes his warning unsettling isn't what can be proven on paper, but what leaves no visible trace at all. Think about it. If the battlefield had truly shifted inward, then the most dangerous weapon may be the one you never know is there. For instance, some people say the sound didn't come from outside at all. It didn't travel through the air or enter through the ears. It felt internal, as if the brain itself was being triggered to hear something that wasn't there in the usual way. This idea has a name that sounds unsettling even before you understand it. Voice to skull.
And so if you're programming someone to go after, let's say, a political target, all you have to do is use voice morphing, and pipe in the tortures, the pains, and 24 hours, make it a artificial intelligent chatterbot too. And you'll drive the person crazy. The news, the mass news media will just write them out. Oh, they're crazy.
At first, it's easy to dismiss. Hearing sounds without external noise is often associated with mental illness. And for years, that's exactly how many of these claims were treated. But a small group of scientists have pointed out something uncomfortable. There was a documented phenomenon, studied decades ago, where certain types of pulse radio frequency energy can create the perception of sound inside the head. This is known as the microwave auditory effect, or the Frey effect.
There's something called the Frey effect. The Army had it on their website called V2K, and that's how a lot of people refer to it, that can pipe voices into someone's head. You can't plug your ears. It actually vibrates the brain, which is like many concussions, through the small pulses that expand the tissue and then contracts it, then goes to the inner ear where they can hear it. If you just turn that up, it causes brain damage. You're heating the brain. So there are a lot of ways, and a weapon, for example, that I think is reclassified now, but it was done at the University of Nevada as a non-lethal weapon that resonates the dopamine cells of your brain, producing cells of your brain, and it floods it. Now, it worked. The Air Force reclassified it.
The brain can register sound without the ears even being involved. That single fact changes the tone of the conversation. What once sounded impossible now sits in an uneasy space between science and speculation. For people already experiencing unexplained symptoms, this possibility feels less like theory and more like a clue that refuses to go away. And this is where the story stops being abstract. Reports tied to what later became known as Havana syndrome describe clusters of symptoms that didn't fit neatly into familiar diagnoses.
That incapacitates the adversary.